What's up, people of YouTube? Justin Tanabam here from YouTube channel MTS, and in this video, part of the MTS All-Nighter, I'm going to be giving you guys a little breakdown on how the coding works in the Pokemon game that I've been making for 7 years now. And it's not even close to being done. I've given up on it. Not given up on it. You see how it's compiling right now? This is compiling everything together. But basically, I just needed like a very long break from it because there was a time where I was just focusing on it. Like that whole dream sequence that I put a couple of videos ago, that took a long ass fucking time coding. So the issue I have is I have no saved games whatsoever on this. But basically, the way this game would work is you have your stupid little intro. The dream sequence is actually the starting point of the game. You get a choice of 3 Pokemon, Azurill, Eevee, or Pachirisu. And it's pretty interesting how I coded this. Do you want Pachirisu, the electric Pokemon? Now, if you hit no, and I like that I put in that little cry, it'll bring you back to the select screen. I'm gonna pick Eevee in this situation. The normal Pokemon. Just like that. Or you don't give a nickname to him, no. But then when you check, boom, there is Eevee. Now, let me show you guys how that part of the programming actually works. Now, there's no special coding in this. I'm using RPG Maker XP. But basically how that works is you have these things on the left here, which dictate how certain events transpire. Now, learning this program was crazy. I mean, there's a whole thing. You can learn like events. These are different layers if you want to design on top of it. You have this, which is a script editor. This is a whole thing in its own. This is like hours and hours of shit. This is how I injected in Mega Evolution and how all the metadata is compiled and crap. And this is just for testing purposes. This is automatically generated, but to put in Mega Evolution, I had to put in a ton of different strings, and that I'm not worried about today. Today I'm showing you guys how the starter Pokemon work. So we have this S in the middle, which actually is how you start it. Here is actually how you would do that. You would go to this. S would dignify that it's the starting screen, the introduction. And then you have these 2 events, which are the introduction. And then you have this event, which is the quick start introduction. So you can choose to bypass one of these screens on which one it'll be. So here we have auto run, meaning this is going to start right when you hit new game. Or I can change it to this, where I have it as action button. Now if I go to auto run, now my little intro sequence, like how Professor Oak or Professor Birch, depending on the generation you have, will play. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I might have to change my quick intro to action button. I haven't touched this game in a while, but in my head, I think that would make sense because I think this 2 will be in conflict. Let's see. I know I hit a save button here, but let's see. Here we go. So I made the opening to this very friendly because nowadays there are so many different genders that people identify as. So I try to make it as friendly as I can. And even then, you see, what do you want your persona to be? The problem is at this point you can't kind of go back, so you could pick male or female at this point, and for this point I'll just choose male, and then it'll glitch into the intro. See how friendly I made that? So for example, let's just say my name is Jay. Now after it processes all that, then we start our information. Hello Jay, welcome to the exciting world of Pokemon. As you can see, this is Pokemon. The game is based around the character you see on the screen now. Then it just goes through all that. Now how did I program the genders into it? So all of this is the coding for the introduction. The way it presents the Pokemon graphics, the way you can change the graphics to be boy, girl, or anything. So I can actually edit this right now to say, instead of it saying, what is your preferred gender, I can edit this with different choices. I only get 4 choices, but let's just say, for an example, This is like a lot. Like when it's male, it does this, it does that. Intro's boy, which is the name of the image that displays when you choose male in the unknown. Now this one is funny. You see how this says ditto? If you picked someone different, it'll be ditto, because a ditto can be anything. So I made that as like a very friendly type of way to assume your gender. But now let's go into something different, so I'm gonna modify something so you guys can see how to do this. So we see Pachirisu, Eevee, and I think wow, I'm bugging out. So let's just mess with this. So PN is player name's house. Whenever you choose your name, it won't say PN, it'll say J, for example. So let's just change Azurill. So we had Azuru, Eevee, or Pachirisu, but maybe we wanted a different one. How we do that? So let's use Eevee for example. Let's say we want Pichu. We would have to go into it, choose Pichu, but then that doesn't change everything. Then you gotta go to who you want to change it to. So Pichu was Eevee, right? So we actually have to go here. That's Azurill. Do you want Eevee? We're gonna change that name to Pichu, and we'll change it to the other electric Pokemon. And then, oh god, we gotta see what his name is, what number his name is. So what we'll do, Pichu number, because I have this all in a folder that corresponds to it. Pichu's number, 172. Okay. So now we're gonna go into here and edit this cry and go to, oh shoot. So I can't, because in this folder it doesn't have the cry. So I'll leave that alone. But what we can do is change this. Look, Eevee, no. In all caps, Pichu, PB add Pokemon, parentheses parentheses Pichu, comma 5. 5 is the level, so I can change this to 99 for an example, and this shit'll give you a Pichu. But now add Pichu, then we gotta change the picture to Pichu. Now where is the Pichu? Show picture. We gotta change this to it's probably not in this folder either, but it's fine, because when we add it, and I'll show you, you will get the Pokemon of Pichu and not Eevee, because everything we just recompiled will be to give you Pichu. Even though it'll display Eevee, you'll get the cry of Eevee, everything will be Pichu. So right now I have Eevee because I saved it like that. Please select your Pokemon. Pichu. Unfortunately. Oh, I didn't save it all. So here's an issue we're about to run into. If you don't save anything in the script editor, you will not get that. Watch. It's still Eevee, right? Okay. Let's go back. This is a debug mode. Let's get out of debug mode and change that. So we want to go back down to Pichu, right? So we change that to Eevee. You see how it says Eevee level 5? Nothing I did, just save. So, and it must be in caps. Pichu, we want it to be level 99, and we want it to say, do you want Pichu the other electric Pokemon? And then we'll change this choices too. I don't know if I changed the choices. You know what? For now, we have to go to apply and okay. I'll just leave it as Eevee just for testing. You have to save things before you debug it, because it runs all that data in the debugger. Yeah. Learning RPG Maker XP, man. It was honestly so much fun, though. This is like the best platform to make an RPG game. Just straight up fact. Yeah. And when I give this game out, I'm putting in all the fonts, because having that all the time is such an annoying error message. So here's Pichu. Again, the graphic, it'll be Eevee. The cry will be Eevee. But when we add him, I obtain the Pichu. Would you like to give a name to Pichu? Yes, I would. Just like that. Boom. It's Pichu. We're gonna name him just A for now. And watch. I have a level 99 Pichu right now on my Pokemon. How insane is that? Now there are ways to change his moveset, but let me see what my game preloaded in him. It should be some pretty OP moves, honestly. And it wasn't. It was no OP moves. Now you can change this, because inside the folder... Oh, okay, that's not it. But inside the folder, there's a preset type of move list for all the Pokemon at certain levels. And you can go in and do that in a notepad base, or you can go into debug, and then you get all these options, like his moves and all this crap. Now, they're all gifts. All the Pokemon, all 700 plus Pokemon I have in here are gifts. And it freezes a lot. You see it goes through all the sequences. I'm gonna try to battle. Yeah, everything's all screwed up right now with this. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because then I'm giving away a tease. But that's a generalization on how this works. Like the Mewtwo lab, here's another spoiler. This is a whole thing I did from the ground up. Literally, I believe it starts when you touch any of these tiles. Yeah, if you go in there, or if you accidentally transport here, you're gonna have Mewtwo here. You're gonna have different Pokemon here. These are trainers that do different things. Youngster Landon. This is gonna be a script-based Pokemon movie from Pokemon Mewtwo. But yeah, this is... So this dream sequence is supposed to be how the game starts. This is how I got all that stuff wrong. I got a Mew in there. But the way it works is this event on the bottom is how everything is controlled. You move up, you move left, you talk to Brandon, Professor Oak tells you about the fucking class and shit. And this is cool. You get the Mew cry. There you go. This is Mewtwo. And that's just how this program works and how the assets and script works. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one for my next video for the MTS All-Nighter.